Good afternoon, everyone. How are you all? Hmm? Fine. How is your motivation and how is your preparation? Prelims is how many days away now? Hmm? 07. You calculated. Very good. Okay. So, welcome to this APEC program. What is the full form of APEC? Good. So, all of you have joined the course. First of all, thank you for joining the course. Right. So, I will be talking about the features of the course, and I will also talk about how you should integrate this course with your own self study. Right. What kind of self study you need to do to ensure success in preliminary examination, right? Anyone have given any previous attempt? So by how many marks you might have missed, according to your guess? 82 to 84 in paper one. CSAT, you are clearing. Okay, so there also you didn't clear. What about you? Mhm. Okay. Others is going to be first attempt, 22. So what was the impact of COVID on your preparation? Did it impact? Not much. Good. So you know how the exam is evolving, preliminary examination. So since 2018, we are seeing a drastic change in the demand of the examination, both preliminary, both GS1 and CSAT paper. So what is that drastic change that we are witnessing? If I am sure you have solved previous year questions, right? So the question papers before 2018, when you are solving them, you will have a different feeling. So after 2018, if you are solving these papers, you will. Hmm. In CSAT paper, yes. Hmm. Okay. So more bit more technical. Any other? No idea. What about you? Okay. So to put it idea-wise, like broadly, if I want to generalize, uh, now the focus is more on analytical skills, right? So earlier the focus used to be more on factual component. The questions were used to be truly objective. You had three distinct options which you could eliminate, right? You knew whether it is exactly right or exactly wrong. Now what is happening? Little bit subjectivity is coming into the questions, right? So while eliminating options, people are getting confused. So if the complaint we receive regularly is that I get stuck with 50-50 option. So between these two options, I'm not able to eliminate one option. And the area the UPSC is touching, is random every year. Okay. So earlier one could say there are like 10 to 15 questions from polity, right? 5 to 10 questions from history. One could say with confidence, this is the broad ratio. So now what they are doing to make it more unpredictable. Sometimes there are more questions from ancient medieval. Suddenly they bring questions from sports, right? Sometimes more emphasis on science and technology. So this ratio they will keep altering. Similar thing is happening with the mains also. So mains earlier what used to happen, uh, one could guess the questions. For example, if your optional is anthropology, you could say that 80% of the questions could repeat. Now questions do repeat, but again what they are doing, they are splitting one question into 3 4 parts in mains. So if two are predictable, so other two questions are from the different section, right? Something from the what we call as left out topics, peripheral topics, right? So those they are including in compulsory question and making you confused, and they are forcing you to go through entire syllabus. You cannot leave any part of the syllabus, whether it is optional or general studies. Similar thing is happening in prelims. Now you cannot just focus on free economy, geography, polity, and think that you can clear preliminary examination. So the syllabus from A to Z, whatever topics are there, you have to cover holistically. So what I mean by covering holistically, number one is conceptual clarity is must. The basics of the basics. The conceptual clarity must be there. So this APEC program is basically for that purpose. First, all the static topics, we will be clearing your concepts, right? So what is advanced level within this APEC program is that linking the static with the current affairs. Because that is how UPSC frames questions. So you have certain static topic in say, let's say Buddhism. Now last 3-4 years remotely there might have been a news about Buddhism. It may be something related to art and culture, Buddhist philosophy, some anniversary, right? Some celebration, festival related to that, or some statement by a politician, right? Or a new book on Buddhism, which might have created controversy or something, appreciation, something like that. So we will be linking them, right? And then teaching you in the class. So all within 10 to 12 days per subject. So that concepts will be taken care, basics will be taken care, and then its application part through questions. So you will be solving nearly 2000 GS questions. So as part of the APEC program and around 700 CSAT questions. So during this period of classes. But that won't alone be sufficient. The reason is that knowledge component, the another drastic change in this examination is that you cannot clear this exam only based on the knowledge, right? Even if you're thoroughly good with all basics, of polity, economy, geography, everything, so there is no guarantee that you are going to crack the examination, because the number of questions with specific answer where you exactly know the answer is getting reduced year after year. So now one can answer only 30-35 questions with surety. If you have completed syllabus, like in the first round, right, when you have solved question papers, right, MCQs, 100 questions. So in the first round, you can answer like maximum, as far as I know, that is the feedback I got, around 30 questions. With some experienced people can go up to 35-40, but freshers it is 25 to 30 questions. Now that is not going to help you. So you have to take risk in another at least 40 to 50 questions minimum. 50 questions you have to take risk. So these 50 questions is where you don't know the exact answer, right? So what are you going to do? You have to apply common sense, you have to apply logic, some logic, right? Intelligent guessing. You are familiar with the topic, but you don't know the answer. So you have to start applying certain logic. So now that is where self-study comes into picture, right? In addition to the program. After listening to the class for 2 to 3 hours, you have to go back and ensure that every day you do 100 to 200 questions, right? Let's say the first topic we are doing environment, for example. So today we have done basics of environment like ecology, what is food chain. So those concepts, what is energy, mass, something, some biomass and all. So now you go back, you pick up questions from previous year UPSC papers, UPSC papers of Civil Services Examination, NDA, EDS, other UPSC exams where objective test is there. Engineering service, economic service. I think they have some objective questions where they ask some general studies questions also. Those questions may be simple. Most of the questions are straightforward in those examinations. Like NDA is for 12th graduate, I mean the +2 students, right? The questions will not be too advanced, but the topics are same. So what basic level they are asking at in NDA and CDS, they will ask the same at advanced level in UPSC. At least you are getting to know the topics there. So that is number one source. Second source is our website we have static compilations, these compilations. So past 4-5 years we are posting daily 5 static questions. So that's we have segregated into monthly compilation. Within monthly the questions are segregated topic wise. So you can take last 2 years of static compilations, right? So that they will give you like hundreds of environment questions. And then there is previous year test series papers of insights or any other reputed institute, right? And we have Oxford University question bank also, environment question bank. Around 1000 plus questions are there. You can take that also. Money is not an issue. So for questions, there is no dearth. Like there are thousands of questions available for every topic. You have to couple your understanding of the concepts, basics with multiple times of practice. It is the practice component that will help you guess correctly in these 50-60 questions where you are taking risk. So if you're not practicing, now what is the logic? Like, people say practice makes man perfect, right? So in UPSC exam, if you're solving like thousands of questions on one particular subject, let's say on environment, you are solving 1000 questions. Now, when you are reading a book, it can be like, what is that? Shankar, right? Shankar Ray's environment book or Tata McGraw publication, any environment material, if you are reading. So usually what happens, our mind thinks, like unidirectional. So, we are trying to complete the book, first of all. We are trying to make notes. We are trying to understand what is there in the book. So, the mind will not be constantly thinking about the application part of the same what you are reading. For example, you are reading about say some concept of food chain, right? Now, what I mean by you are not thinking about application part. Anybody has NCRT textbook here? Any NCRT textbook? No. So, application part of that thing is, so regarding food chain, there may be a new research or something, right? That may be in the current news, exactly. Like, food chain, particularly, maybe one species might have extinct or something, something. So currently it is in the news. So while you are reading that book, you are not doing that little bit of research. So, but what we do while framing questions on current food chain, so we will think like that. So was it in news, let's say, with respect to any research paper, with respect to Ministry of Environment, if it had come out with some news or something related to agriculture, how climate change is affecting food chain, right? Or how our technology, day-to-day technology may be affecting it. So while framing question, we will be seeing the application part. So on food chain, let's say we have 10 questions, right? In the book, you will be having like 1 to 2 dimension, but when you solve questions, you will get other related dimensions, right? So that will prepare yourself, your mind to tackle questions from different perspectives. So when you are actually solving the real paper, it will happen that 1 or 2 options which you are seeing in the question might have been different questions when you are doing the practice thing. Without doing these many, like my suggestion is that you should do at least 12 to 15,000 questions before prelims, right? For entire GS part. So let's say like 2000 questions on economy, 2000 on polity, right? Around 1000 for environment, current affairs around 4 to 5000 questions. These are available. Every day you have to solve these many questions. So after the APEC class, when you are getting environment basics, go back, take a question bank and do it, right? So if you are not doing it, so that is one part. Second part, what else you need to do is read NCRT textbook for the same environment. It happens that sometimes, even the question paper, paper setter might have left 1 or 2 small details in the book, right? And after doing these 2 exercises, if you read any material, your concepts will be crystal clear for you, right? I mean, you'll remember these long term. Have you done that? Have you experienced it? After solving questions, after listening to something, if you read something, when you read by yourself, you tend to not only understand things properly, but you will also retain them. And that reading should end with only one source. Here, many people make fundamental mistake of, again trying to read too many books, too many sources. Now is not the time to go after too many sources. The resources must be one for every subject. It can be only NCRT or it can be only one book, something like that. So if you try to, because anyway questions are already have taken care of multiple sources. You read their solutions, so they will have multiple content from multiple sources. So you don't have to do it again on yourself, by yourself. That is going to waste a lot of your time, and also you will not be able to do multiple revisions of one subject. So have the target of 3 time revision of one subject. So for example, environment you finish, APEC. So you read NCERT or any standard textbook and then solve the questions. After the program, you should be able to revise it 2 more times, right? So then you will see your, marks will jump like anything. When you give all India open marks, full length marks, when you start giving them, your marks will improve. So it is in the second part, like like honestly, like if I ask you how many questions you are solving right now, 20, 30, more than that. Very good. How many you are doing? Okay, so what is your source? Questions like from where you are solving these 50, 60 questions. Okay, good. Increase it to 100 plus, right? Now the second most important part is the CSAT part. So almost everyone is scared of CSAT. So in the APEC, we are going to take care of CSAT also. That is also integrated with the APEC. So they will be doing concepts part, and then the live practice part will also be there. But again, the similar thing. Weekly 3 full-length papers, CSAT. That must be your target. And every day, at least 20 to 30 questions, right? So if you are not doing it from now onwards, from February itself, and if you are thinking that you will do it from March or April, that you are good, you are engineer, that you are good, in CSAT, then it's going to create problem for you. So don't do that, right? From now itself, you do. Uh, See, it's a again common sense thing. Wherever you feel you are weak, right? You have to make it your strength, hmm, by directly hitting it in the beginning itself, right? You take care of the problem in the very beginning so that you feel comfortable, right? You don't feel like heavy and burdened when the exam is nearing, that you're still scared of CSAT or one particular thing. Leave things aside, like if you're pressure, like if you're looking at cracking prelims, so don't get carried away because other people are doing essay writing, answer writing and all. So there are people who have given previous attempt, written mains. They have realized that they are weak in certain answer writing, so they are doing it, right? So you don't get influenced by that, right? But at the same time, if you are really looking at cracking this exam in 2022, you should also look at few basic things. Optional must be completed, right? Without completing optional, you cannot think of cracking 22 civil service examination, right? So optional is important. Secondly, some basic writing skills, right? That is important. Even if it is not there, luckily you have 3.5 months time this year between prelims and mains. So at that time you do, like double your efforts and you can improve that. But right now, at least optional, it is pending, like one paper is pending, some parts are pending. You have to balance it with prelim preparation at least till end of February or till middle of March, right? So otherwise what happens, there is no point in clearing prelims. So you might feel satisfied you have done well in prelims, or clear and show parents that you have cleared. But then again, it will be like back to where you are. During those 3.5 months, you cannot complete optional, right? If you haven't completed, you're getting the point. So that should also be there. So what else? You know, so here the teachers will focus on mainly helping you improve the skills also in the class by solving the questions. So try to apply those skills while you solve the questions. So when I say you have to solve 100 or 150 questions, solve them like in a test, right? You take OMR or something, but you just go on solving every question. Don't leave them. You are taking up 100 questions, solve all 100 questions, right? Do wild guessing, do whatever logic comes to you, try to apply all the wild logic also. But every week, try to solve 2 full-length papers or test question papers from the test series, like in exam condition. There you don't do 100 out of 100, right? So try to find your wavelength or like rhythm or whatever it is, optimum number. So 70 questions can work for you, 80 can work for you, some people 90 can work. So there you give it like as you are going to give in UPSC exam. Those two papers. My suggestion is 2 GS papers, like actual in like exam like condition, right? It can be coming to classroom, you ask OMR sheet, they will give you. So take it and try to bubble and feel like it is like UPSC test. So do it repeatedly so that you the fear of giving UPSC exam will be removed from your head. Secondly, everyday practice, solve all the questions. See, some logic is working. So when you do it repeatedly, with different subjects and the same subject, keep doing it, you will start applying your own logic. Like, you will find your own set of logics are working, right? So you don't have to go by what people, prescribe certain formula, cheat codes. You might have heard, right? Like, so in YouTube and all, you will see that this formula will work. For science question, this will work. For economic questions, this will work. So there is no general formula for any of these questions. So you have to identify your own logic, right? Your own elimination skills. You have to develop your own elimination skills based on the depth and the breadth that you are reading and the practice you are making. So that will help you find your own individual way of tackling paper. So you will reach a point if you do this for next 3 months like very consistently, if you any paper you will score 120 plus. If the focus is on like this. Now, if you are like have this herd mentality like everyone, if the focus is on only reading and completing books, that I have to read Lakshmikant 3 4 times, right? So you spend 20 days reading only Lakshmikant, and in between you give like one or two full length polity test, right? Just for the sake of some consolation or something, and then you move to another subject. So you do one time revision, again you come back and repeat the same. That another revision I will do of books. You read books, you read notes, and meanwhile every week people will be coming up with new compilations, current affairs, this and that material. You also take that, try to read them also. You are doing this, you are not going to clear prelim. Reading alone, sources again and again, because this exam is more about thinking now, right? You have to apply your own mind in the examination, right? Applying your own mind in the examination comes with your own practice, right? So which is kind of detached from the competition. So you shouldn't do what others are doing, like the neighboring person in your reading room or somebody may be extremely good with one subject because he or she has read everything. Just having too much of knowledge doesn't mean that they can solve the question papers, right? Thus, you know common sense doesn't come only with the knowledge, right? You should have experience, you should have practice. If you become good in that, you are actually going to clear exam also, not just prelims, mains also, because in mains coupled with knowledge, the skills are very important, right? Because all 20 questions you will not know exact answers, right? So you will know partial answer, rest of the thing, those who can think originally individually will have advantage. So the journey actually starts from now itself. And also don't look at prelim preparation in complete isolation, that it's only prelim specific. Because let's say like you do 10 days of environment and you are doing 1000 questions on environment and you are reading all NCERT books related to environment. Now, and then you are solving some current affairs questions related to environment. You don't have to read separately for mains now. Every fact, every example, every report you want to quote, every person, every scientist, whatever is relevant to environment, you are actually going to cover everything right now, right? So if you do this multiple revision of the same thing and practice, when you start writing answers immediately after prelims, you will have so much content to enrich your answers, right? But if the mind is looking at it as only compartment, no, I'll just familiarize myself, only read for prelims, then what happens? You will have to again do the same thing after prelim, right? It's just it's kind of mind game. Are you getting this point actually? Hmm? Are you able to understand this point? Have that continuity in your mind, right? While preparing for prelims, keep thinking about mains also, right? So how you can do, just like little bit, like it takes like 2 to 3 minutes of your time. So while reading environment question, just look at previous environment questions, mains ka. right? Just look at them. You don't have to write answers, right? You don't have to start practicing making notes or anything. Just look at the questions. Think like, can you accommodate this example here or not? That mere change in thinking, that you can use this somewhere else, right? You can use in mains, you can use in interview, you can use in your day-to-day life, right? Some knowledge. So that is like next level. You don't have to, like when you become officer, you can start using it. Nobody does. I mean, not nobody does means like we treat getting rank, seeing our name as the end of the game here, right? After that, you are taught and you are trained for different thing. But if somebody can have the continuity in these things, right? You will be respected, and you will have innovative ideas. Your thinking will be out of the box. You will be an excellent officer also, right? But the thinking has another biggest advantage. Thinking like this, you're getting the point. So what is that biggest advantage? It actually reduces the stress. It reduces the stress of the examination, right? Because you are looking at the entire exam as one integrated part, integrated whole, what we call WHOL. So when you are looking at the bigger picture, you will not be too much worried about preliminary examination. Preliminary examination is just like it happens. You're thinking big about mains, like enriching answers. At the same time, you're doing prelims practice also. You go and give the exam, you'll clear it. The actual UPSC examination, you have to internalize this thought in your mind. Is nothing but another weekly practice test, right? If you are doing it regularly, seriously from now, 2 papers every week, it is the continuation of that test. So keep telling this yourself. Otherwise, you will lose sleep before the examination. No, you'll get anxious. So in prelims, we see this fear problem more than in mains, right? Maybe because numbers are also less or something. When before prelims, I see people getting tensed, and people create hype and everything. So don't. We have to tell these things. The reason is that I can just tell you that we teach well. You read concept and go. This exam cannot be cleared only through knowledge. So that is the minor part of this entire examination. It's about personality. You have to be strong. You have to be tough. You have to think differently. You have to think uniquely. You have to be original, right? That independent thinking must be there, and your personality shouldn't be scared of these examinations, right? So if you develop that kind of attitude, whatever hard work you are doing, morning to evening, making notes, reading, writing answers, solving questions, group discussion, those things will help. The personality itself is not tough. You are doing everything. We see that. There are people who work hard for 12 hours, 14 hours, 16 hours, repeatedly failing the examination. They fall sick during the examination. They are perfectly all right. They are very fit. They fall sick. So here we keep telling these things because we have to be honest with it, right? And you have to be honest with yourself regarding these things. Otherwise, I mean, why work hard? Yes, sir. Correct, Alva. Have any experienced this? Why? Why? So from now onwards, practice this also. Tell your mind. Keep things simple, right? Keep things simple. Keep things. Don't create any hype around these examinations, right? Notification has come. You apply. You forget it. No, don't keep thinking about it, right? Preliminary exam comes, just like any another day. You have to go give the exam. It's all about mindset, right? So that again cannot happen overnight. You have to start doing it from now itself. Like in my experience, I am seeing these people who are not too much worried about the exam clearing in more numbers now, right? So again, there are two category of students. One is smart freshers, right? They know everything, they have prepared everything. Somehow they are very clear, I have to just give one attempt and then I have to exit, right? I'm not worried about the result or anything. So they have like clear plan. So another category who have given like 3 4 attempts, have failed multiple times. Now they have become like Buddha, complete detachment. Takapa, like I'm too tired of this examination. I'll just give it for the sake of closure now, right? I've decided I will move out. I'll take another job, but before going, I'll give my best, but without expecting anything, right? So it is again this category who are clearing this examination. The fundamental reason for both the category is that they are not attached with the examination results or anything. You are doing your preparation, you are giving your best, go and give result. If it is good, well and good. I will join the service. If it is not good, no, fine. So I have another plan in my life. I will go and settle for that. Right. So if your mind is thinking like this, then this exam is easy for you. Right. So along with all the APEC classes and OPEC classes and whatever classes you are getting, ensure that mind remains calm. Hmm? Okay. Meditation won't help. Meditation ಮಾಡಬೇಕಲ್ವಾ? I have done meditation. No, you done. Even then you fall sick, right? So every day, like for example, you are listening to the class. This is another meditation session, right? Your focus is on listening here, like getting to understand something, right? That is meditation. Now you go back and take up some book and start reading. So that again half an hour, 1 hour is another meditation session. Then you are taking lunch break. You are having your food without thinking about anything, enjoying the food, the taste or no taste, less salt, more salt, whatever it is. Another meditation session. Sleeping 8 hours or 6 hours, that is. So if you make sure that every bit of the day is meditation session only by focusing on that moment. That's what you do in meditation, right? What do? You don't try to think about anything else. So you want to go to that, shunyata, like you want your mind to be calm, think about nothing, like doesn't happen. Sadhguru, when he does meditation, he'll be thinking about something. I'm sure, like it's easy to preach. Like I have tried to do meditation like 2 times and then I left it. Doesn't happen. So then I realized this truth that doing justice to our job is the ultimate meditation, right? Whatever it is. So now in the institution, doing my job, if I'm focusing on just what I'm talking, right? If I'm mindful of this is meditation. When I go back home and I'm focusing in the family without worrying about the job, then it is meditation. But for you people, 12 to 14 hour reading, practicing is pure meditation. You do that, you will get sound sleep. Your mind will never be afraid of anything else because you are absolutely not worried about the future, right? You're enjoying every moment, and so this hard work will turn into passion. No, there's a difference between hard work and passion. Hard work is donkey. Donkey work you do repeatedly, and then you get tired of it. You want to get out of it. You want this to stop, right? It has become huge burden on you. Passion is there is no limit. Like you want to keep doing it. You want to do it more. Like you want to do it more. Look for more challenges, more opportunities, right? So convert this into this passion thing. So then you won't be tired of it. Even if you fail, you are not worried. You will continue with doing, reading Hindu, reading other papers, and you love current affairs, you love books. That will somehow help in life in some part. So leaving all that aside, coming back to APEC program, ensure that you attend every class, right? It acts as a quick revision of, because I'm sure you have read all the basics right now. So the success is also a result of consistency, right? It is not just about working on mind and other things. Consistency is important. You might have worked on mind. Mind is powerful. You are fully focused on things, but the practice preparation is not good. So it's not going to help you clear the exam. You'll succeed in something else, but this exam requires knowledge as well, right? So be consistent in attending the classes, in solving the papers, and in you can also meet teachers after the session. You try to understand, like how you can solve questions. If concepts are not clear, you can talk to them also, right? So last year I had promised that if somebody doesn't clear as part of the APEC, they could attend the program. So we stand by that, but offline they can come and attend. So similar thing I'm promising you people also. Like unfortunately, if you don't clear prelims, I don't think you have to come and again take the classes, because your preparation will be far better. But if at all you feel need, you can come and sit in the classroom. But online we won't give, because things are getting misused. So I'm seeing, people, all this technology, So that is why offline you can come and attend, and we are planning to do it in Delhi also. Last year, if somebody had subscribed, those who are watching online, we can go to Delhi classroom, sit in the class, uh, watch these videos. So that support will be there, right? Irrespective of whether you are previous student or going to be new student, we will continue this support to you. So it is on you. You have to come and talk to people here, right? So make use of the resources, facilities, and ensure that you always treat yourself as a winner, right? That again, that mindset is important. So never lose self belief, and trust on your own abilities. That is very important. Some people cannot write essay, and then they start feeling they're not fit for the competition. The essay you can improve. So I have seen people writing the worst of the worst essay and going on to become best essay and then getting rank also. So last year there was a candidate from purely Kannada medium who couldn't write even proper sentences. He was OGP student, like in his second attempt he got IAS. So he got better marks than Jaydev, rank 5, before last year. 1 mark better than that person, like who his marks was also good, 141, and his marks, the person who went from worst to this thing. So he wrote nearly 45 essays, right? Uh, in that year when he was preparing for the mains, he really wanted to improve. So I could see it's directly proportionate to your passion and your uh, practice. So if the focus is on that, you can, this exam is nothing. Hmm? That uncertainty, what you feel like, which looks like big dark black hole, that you feel like you don't know where you are actually going. Completely uncertain, right? You can go on making it certain, right? So you know that if you do justice to this 3-4 month preparation, prelims will become certain. How you start scoring 130, 140 in mock test, around 90 to 100 in CSAT papers, so it becomes certain. After that, there are like n number of tests. We give feedback. Your essay is very bad. Then you come and write another essay you show, and we'll tell, okay, it is can get you 110, 120 marks. And then you write more essays. We'll tell you your shot this is 130 to 140. When we say that with respect to essay, ethics, and interview, I am never wrong. 99% yes, correct. That is because of the experience and because of your hard work. We can tell you that you can actually get that. Again, that is irrespective of who you are. You may be weak in something now, but you can always work towards that. So what it requires is your willingness to work and listen and implement, seek improvement, all with passion, right? So it's a continuous journey. You're from Bangalore, India, Bangalore. What about others? Bangalore. Last, you're I think OJP student, right? Acha, you are from Pune, ಹ್ಮ್? ಯಾದಗಿರಿ ಯಾದಗಿರಿ ಹಿಂಗಂದ್ರೆ ಫುಲ್ ಮೇಲಿದೆ ಅಂತಂದ ನೀವು ಪೇಟ್ ಗುಲ್ಬರ್ಗ. We had a session in Gulbarga. Did you attend that? So wish you all the best. If you have any doubts, you can ask me. There are so in Delhi, we are like based on the response, we are planning to start offline APEC or offline classes from around 1st of April, or not 1st of mid March, right? The response is good. We'll start from there. So there is one person who has written, actually, I myself think a lot about the exam, get tensed, worry about every small thing that can go wrong in the exam. This actually made me make at least 6 to 7 mistakes in making an OMR sheet. Right. So give full stop to overthinking. One again frequent complaint is that people tell that they uh, correctly answered most difficult questions, but they wrongly answered the easiest question. Why is that? Why you are not alone? You have lots of friends. So why? What is the reason? Don't know. Anyone knows? Hmm? So why do you overthink? Hmm? So usually what happens unknowingly, what many people do, they treat all the 100 questions equally. You have this built up notion that this mother of all examinations, big difficult examination, or for which you have prepared so much. So when you go to the examinations, your mind do not categorize questions as easy, very easy, difficult, moderate, most difficult. You don't do that. So start doing that whenever you solve a question paper. The easiest questions, which you think easiest questions, do not think thinking at all. Do not require thinking at all. Leave overthinking and other analysis. You know the answer, like immediately. First instinct, you know the answer. That is the right answer. Not about formula or anything. It's common sense, right? But now what you do, because in the same 2 hours you have solved other difficult questions. Now the mind has done some gym work, like so much of hard work, right? Heavy weightlifting and all. Now you take 1 kg also, you try to try to apply the same strength. The mind does the same thing with the easy questions. It tries to doesn't believe that this exam can ask such easy questions, right? So you start applying many logic, no, and then you want to show yourself you are intelligent also, right? Like you are intelligent and you can think better. So you start applying that, and then it goes wrong. It has nothing to do with you actually know the answer, right? Second thing, yeah, some people don't know the answer because they have skipped the basics. They have skipped entirely reading NCERT textbooks, the basic things. Have gone with only big bulky books, right? Advanced term that comes into the market, and they have missed out the basics. That is another logical reason. So don't do both the mistakes. So that is why I asked you, take care of the basic. Secondly, while practicing, ensure that you grade the question which is easy and difficult. So the classes will be 10 to 2. So there is no difference between offline and online, except that you get to see teachers physically and maybe sometime meet. Everyone doesn't meet, some people will meet. Other than that, the features wise, everything you will have access to test. But my suggestion, those who are joined online, if you can find some study center, offline center nearby you, give these tests offline mode. My sincere suggestion for everyone who is doing online preparation, give these tests, film tests, only in the offline mode. Never take test online mode, right? We have online test series that you can take as a revision, or second time when you take. But first time if you are taking, better you take. So it has a different dynamics. So sitting here in the classroom, having OMR, and thinking about a question, think, marking it in OMR, making a mistake there, coming back. So online it doesn't happen. You solve a test in 45 minutes, right? In offline it takes actually more time. So that is my suggestion. You can give it in Hyderabad center, definitely. You can go to Hyderabad or Delhi center, or if you're in Jammu Kashmir, Srinagar, we have. If you're Mangalore, somebody is in coastal nearby Mangalore, you can go, and we'll open center in Dharwad, I think, the next month. If somebody is near to Dharwad, wherever our centers are there, you can go and write tests there. And every centers we have mentors. We'll have mentors. So if you are not able to meet online students here, if you're nearby those centers, you can go and meet them. So I'm planning to visit Delhi like March first week. So you cannot communicate somebody is asking, can you communicate through live classes? They can communicate only through chat box, right? So you can ask questions and chat box. Teachers, they're answering, right? The teachers are answering questions. Uh, so these are the general doubts. What about you people? You got all the GAN needed. Oh. Whatever they teach, you note down the things. That itself is the notes. So handout we are not giving, right? We are not going anywhere. That has been our policy. So we get scolded for that, but material, like we have Instapedia, like huge content on the website. And just take the printout and give it to you, just for the sake of your satisfaction. But our policy from day one has been that ultimately the self-study, what happens, I'll give you material and everybody reads the same material, right? Now everybody starts applying the same content, same knowledge and everything. That is the reason we don't give. Instead, in the classroom, what we give, that doesn't get leaked anywhere, right? So teacher will be solving question, giving you model answer, telling you certain tricks and everything. So that if you can note down full concentration, I think that will help you in understanding the subject. But as I told you, that is nowhere it's sufficient. So this program is basically to make you understand the subject, learn the subject, and know the tricks. That is the advanced part. Application of that, if you are not doing it, you are not going to clear. But there are many people who have given, like, come back and given the feedback that this program was immensely helpful for two reasons. One, because of the quality. Second, our emphasis on forcing you to solve questions. Those who have done multiple, like thousands of questions, as part of the practice, they have cleared the examination. If that is not doing, no program will help. If you're not going back and practicing. So current affairs, yeah, what with respect to prelims, this is a very important point. Don't chase current affairs too much. Now, the overall trend is that, again, we saw that it has become dynamic, bit unpredictable, analytical, right? Focus is on to force you think in that moment on the spot. But at the same time, with respect to weightage, the current affairs in prelims is getting reduced because too many people are like behind this current affairs material, they memorize. There is so much of factual stuff in current affairs, right? Less of analytical, more of factual stuff. Because there is so much material is flooded in the market, everybody tend to give more time for current affairs. My suggestion, just do current affair quiz compilations. On our website, we have three initiatives. One, WED, questions from editorials, and then daily current affairs quiz. And another one is that RTM, revision through multi MCQs. So 20 questions every month. Compilations means around 500 questions from these three initiatives, right? So 12 months, you have nearly 6,000 questions, right? So they will cover each and every aspect of the current affairs, and there is detailed explanation given for that. Itself is sufficient. No other, not even our monthly current affair compilation also. Your time you can read, but my suggestion is no need to read that and any other current affairs material. So these compilations cover everything, and in the class, every static subject will be linked with current affairs. They will be giving you so much of current affairs related. So that much is sufficient. So like if you are doing environment, we'll discuss 1 year environment current affairs. If you are doing geography, any 1 year geography related current affairs, they will discuss it, part of the topic. So, but there won't be any separate current affairs classes. That is useless. And don't join such classes also. Somebody is coming up with a package that in 10 days will complete entire current affairs and everything. So instead, invest your time in strengthening your basics, especially polity, economy, geography, environment, and modern history. Right. Start with economy, then polity, geography, then modern history, environment. So if these basics are really strong, 60 to 70% of the questions, again, basics plus practice, can get around 100 marks. All the best.